everyone, this is Greyshot17 watching the British as a yellow British man comes from what looks like a blue base, and a blue British man comes from a yellow base. Isn't that great, everybody? Isn't that great? In any case, this is a 2v2 match with Arctic Wolves and Sabas Vega. Both of them have submitted replays before, so thank you very much for submitting more. And then we have Mindoggy and Murdoch on the British side. And as you can see, there's only British versing of Vermont and OKW. Let's double check their ranks respectively. It just shows play time, but we can see that the Allies have played more than the Axis. So we'll see how well that goes. Again, it does have a full-through ranking system, but that doesn't matter. As long as that they enjoy playing the game and they have the basic skill understanding. I've seen lower-level players beat higher-level players all the time. So we'll see how things go. I would love to check the total play time, but, well, Steam kind of cut that off. If you want to make your own replay, do so via my Gmail and or Facebook. Gmail is preferable just because it's a lot easier for me. You can also submit it if you're a Patreon supporter via my Patreon. And actually, donating money on my Patreon helps me a ton, even $1. Plus, you can get early access to videos, like, for example, tonight, actually tomorrow morning, again, time scale, I'm literally going to be uploading 3 CH2 videos, so they'll be over a week ahead of the time frame, plus I'll have, let's see, I'll have a Total War video, Hearts of Iron video, review, and a few other things up. So, yeah, I try to make sure things are up to date, and yeah, sure, this CH2 is my most popular, so I have that stuff in advance and everything along those lines. So my Patreon is worth it if you are interested for just simply $1. Or like and subscribe, that helps me a ton. Vermox, Sabas coming on the flank, Universal Carrier pushing them back, Grenadiers getting by heavy cover, waiting, or at least I think they would lie in wait for them, just have to wait for the munitions, which surely will come. But they're using close range combat that pretty much just overwhelm the British infantry in the building, although we have a MG moving on up. Well, they are very close to killing that unit, and they might be able to Panzer fight. Yeah, they are. They're getting closer. Come on, Sabas, you can do it. Boom, good hit. Good. Universal Carrier has to pull back. A lot of infantry still opening fire close range. MG is still vulnerable to a lot of fire, and of course we have the MG still opening fire. So it looks like Ming is going to be pushed back. Before this goes on too much, I need to say this. Thank you, every single one of you who support me on Patreon, who watch my content, who like, subscribe. Seriously, I have had my channel open for the past 5 years. My brother and I looked at how much the channel has grown over the past few years, what we have done over the past few years, and what we've accomplished just this year. And seriously, thank you, each and every one of you, for helping me grow my channel, because dear God, it's become a lot bigger than I've ever thought it would become, and now I'm slowly gaining a smaller following on Twitch as well, and expanding that way, and hopefully doing more content that you guys enjoy. So thank you guys, seriously, so very much. You make this possible, and yeah, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. That may seem like, Greyshot, why are you saying that out of nowhere? But certain things popped up that just made me realize, seriously, thank you all for your awesome support. You made a meme about a Russian artillery piece possible, so thank you once again. In any case, let's double check resources while I go on that tirade about thanking you guys. Probably like, please, Greyshot, it's nothing. Or, seriously, Greyshot, get back to the game. That's why I'm here. So I'll get back to the game. In any case, nice job for at least the Axis for taking control of the 2 capture points. Also, we grab the fuel. I forgot about this point back here, but I'm assuming they might send a Kubel or something. Nope, we have no Kubel. Arctic, I expect the Kubel. In any case, MG opening fire, suppressing the Volk squad. Looks like the British did take a lot of forces on the left. Resource-wise, I will have to give fuel to the Allies and Axis munitions. So we can see Germans with better weapons, while the Allies have some earlier armor. So we'll see how that plays out in the coming parts. Stern Pioneer squad getting very close to the MG. Yeah, that's gonna be suppressed. Mortar moving on up, but the MG's like, hey, move back a little bit. Arctic did go with the breakthrough doctrine. A lot of heavier infantry. Jagdtiger, very potent. So, and the artillery assault, very cool. So we'll see how this goes. The only thing is, the Jagdtiger is a very powerful unit, but you have to protect it. It can be very easily swarmed by armor and taken out. So that could be a big issue. So we'll see what happens. Mortar coming down, pushing back the Grenadier squads. The Allies regaining a little bit of momentum, capturing some territory, such as the Star and the capture point, which should allow them more resources to edge out the Germans. Overall, the Germans are going to need to kind of bring this back, and how they could do that is maybe focusing where they are stronger. Right now, the British are reinforcing this area, so it may not be the best idea to focus on the left. What they could do is try to take on the right and really push and take some of this territory, because they could really lock this right side down and kind of counteract the Allied assault on the left side. Because if they push over here, sure, they could push the Allies back, but I feel like with all the emplacements and everything that they are going to be setting down, it'll be a little bit more difficult for the Germans to do that, where it'd be a little bit easier on the right, especially against the British, who, unless they're, if they're out in the middle of nowhere, they're very easy to push out. So we'll see. I will say, Ming, you're doing a very interesting thing by getting another universal carrier. Usually after one is destroyed, you stop, but you're getting a second one, so we'll see how this goes. Or at least a second universal carrier is being made on the field. Again, after the 6-minute mark, I'm kind of unsure about that. So, I don't know. Again, the Allies will now have 2 universal carriers. The second one's being deployed at the 6-minute mark. It's a little bit late for that, but we'll see. Because again, 1 Panzerfaust, which we'll probably see right now, will easily stop it and cripple it. It does have the automatic repair ability, which is very helpful for getting the thing back on track, but just pointing out that maybe he's trying to make it a little bit more mobile assault. It's risky, but we'll see what happens. Stern Pioneers pushing back the British infantry, although I don't think they're going to be able to push back the universal carrier. Again, it is very good against that infantry, but once again, if Arctic brings back a large force, that could easily do a lot of damage. Also, we have a lot of MGs, 2 respectively on each side of the Allies. Arctic and Sabas going more frontline infantry with Grenadiers, and Arctic especially with 2 Volk squads and a bunch of Panzerfusiliers. Panzerfusiliers, very good long range, and though they don't necessarily get credit for it, they still have AT capability, and of course they still have grenades. So they're good in a lot of different combat situations. My only concern with them is that they are decently expensive with 290. And they're not incredible against armor. They're just like Grenadiers, so they're just more expensive Grenadiers, which is why maybe people see them and be like, well, maybe not. I don't want to get the Panzerfusilier. But once again, if you're looking for long-range combat, they do pack a punch versus infantry. Now we're also getting a Lukes, and right now the Allies are counteracting that with an armored car and AT. So that should help them, but we'll see. Actually, wow, okay, so a large counterattack by Sabas, completely ignoring what I said, which is completely fine. I can be dead wrong on multiple occasions. Armored car, though, trying to push them back. We have mortar coming in. Where's that MG? Oh, wow, they all fell back. And this MG's on the wrong side, so I thought he would have used his MGs for covering to keep back the infantry, and then the mortar to kind of counteract that stuff, but I guess that's not the case. Was able to bust right through, take it out. Just showing that, again, Greyshot can be wrong, and I can be very wrong at certain occasions. I was thinking that the British was 2 in place, but no. It looks like they were still able to push up. Universal Carrier, not sure what to do. Pulling back. Armored car, just hanging out. AT gun was like, I'll go after the armored car, and then pulls back. It's like, maybe not. Wow, Ming just counterattacking, retaking this side. Is that an MG in that building? No, it's just British infantry section. So they could try to snipe some infantry coming out, just try to hit them on the negative cover, maybe kill a couple infantry, maybe push back a squad. We'll see. Panzerfusiliers just lying in wait. It looks like now that it's the complete opposite. Ming has retaken the entire right side, and Sabas is trying to take over the left side. We'll see how well that goes. Again, we still have an MG that kind of suppress some infantry. They could stop the Grenadiers from taking the point. We shall see. Armored car could also assist, or the universal carrier, but they're just kind of lying in wait. You may want to move them just to help out. We do have Stern Pioneers with Panzerschreck, so that's another AT component you have to consider. So the Allies, even if they get armor first, because as you can see, they still have more fuel. If they recapture this point, they'll have a lot more fuel. But, yeah, the Axis is actually decapping this is pretty smart, because that takes out the entire left-hand side that the Allies can no longer get. So, good job on that regard. But that being said, the Allies did take over the entire right side, so, MG just slightly out of range. But, hey, you're trying to decap that point. Then, if you decap that star, you could theoretically cut off all of the allied points and stop them from getting them. Well, sort of. I mean, yeah, you would still need to capture that, but would be risky. Would be very risky, because then again, you're really overextending your lines. Just 1 or 2 British infantry could easily push you back. Again, the Allies are still gaining territory through this point, and it would be the same thing over here, I believe. So, yeah, it would be. You can see here on the bottom, it is connected. So, yeah, they would need to capture this point up here to fully take them out. So we have, oh my god, just being torn apart by that squad. Or those squads, respectively. Just British infantry, they're great for defensive and slowly working up. Just coming around that corner, a full squad's like, yeah, retreat. Just get them out. They can't fight it. Luke's knocking out the MG, but Armored Car's like, I'm sorry, what was that? You should probably fall back now. Armored Car, again, you would think it's an armored car, so a tank could kill it, but not necessarily. This Armored Car does pretty damn well first in the tank. Now, unfortunately, there is a bunch of infantry there, so they could Panzerfaust and Panzerschreck respectively. Oh, shoot. Armored Car trying to get out of there. I'm assuming we could have an AT grenade or Panzerfaust being shot. He's going around. Could he? Oh, nice shot. Good maneuvering by the Armored Car to get out of there. Panzerschreck does hit it in its rear, but it still managed to get out. MG could start suppressing all that infantry. There might be a little bit too much for them to hold it back. They could spread them out and pretty much overwhelm that one MG. But could be interesting to see what happens. Also, kind of surprised you're not saying one squad to go take this. But, hey, that's fine. Arctic, also, I would say, Arctic, you're blobbing a little bit. That is a bit of a blob, I would say. That's just a bit of a blob. But, hey, blobbing isn't necessarily a bad thing. Especially if the enemy has, well, no counter to it. And what do you mean? It's like, well, the Soviets have the Katyusha. The Allies have, like, the mortar carriages and whatnot. What do the British have? The British have the base artillery, which can fire artillery shells. Looks like we don't... Okay, so, yeah, we have the company over here, but not the company command post on this side. Instead, Murdoch brings out a half-track. I'm assuming to deploy weapons to his infantry, respectively, and maybe heal his men on the front. He also went with the special weapons, which allowed him to get that resupply half-track. He also going to play the Crocodile, which would definitely be a counter to that. Nice job throwing some incendiary grenades on there, burning down the MG. I don't know what this half-track is supposed to do, because by itself, it's not really going to hold back a bunch of guys with Panzerschrecks, but hey, best of luck. I mean, the machine gun on it will still do something, but not all that much. Not all that much. Yeah, right now, Allies, look at the resources. 51 munitions and 45 fuel per turn. Dear God. And then the Axis, respectively, have both a mechanical and pretty much a medical, and they don't really have anything. I mean, they could get the building up, but they need to make it. Oh, boy. They're not going to get armor anytime soon. So I would expect armor on the German side for at least another 5 minutes at the earliest. And that would be capturing points. I mean, yeah, it's... The problem is the Axis are kind of grouping up a little too much. They need to expand and take over some territory. It's on this map on a 2v2, it is more difficult, but they need to do that if they want to regain some momentum. Panzer Fusilier squad going in. Maybe they can fire an AT grenade or pick off some Royal Engineers. Royal Engineers healing it for some reason. And while they're healing, they're vulnerable and easy to kill. So, yep, there it goes. Throwing a grenade does... The AT grenade did a little bit more. I mean, they did do some serious damage to it, so I'll give them credit, but without the Royal Engineer squad as well, they're not going to heal it anytime soon. So, there's that. And we have a full blob coming in to finish off that half-track. MG lying in wait. Nice job with the British infantry just taking them out. Panzerschreck, though, knocks them out. Armored Car's like, yeah, I'm pulling back. I don't need to deal with this. They are bringing out a Centaur, though, which will do a lot of damage. So, yeah. Also, British infantry section, you could throw a grenade or a retreat. That's fine. Ming has taken over pretty much half the map at this point. MG could open fire on this Pioneer squad kind of going back there. I don't think it's going to be able to. Nope, just barely manages to miss. The blob is retreating. MG, I guess, was suppressing them, so he's like, yeah, I'm going to retreat. does kind of suck. The one thing I will say about this doctrine is I do like the abilities it has. The fact you can have a half track that gives you weapons. The fact that this hold the line, which calls in air support and better infantry. It's like essentially for Mother Russia in support and the Hawker Typhoon. What am I thinking of? That it's the shoot, I can't think of the name. Where is it here? Damn it, it's not here. I can't think of the name, but it's the one where the two planes come in for the British. One MG, one there. The one, anti-tank. One against infantry, one against tank. Kind of comes in 200 munitions. We combine that with like full Mother Russia for better defensiveness, or just better troops. And yeah, it's just a lot of hurt. It's a lot of hurt. Concentrated fire operations also good for a lot of fortifications you first, and then the crocodile just great overall. But a lot of the special stuff you get with this doctrine just really well if you can use it correctly. Centaur just murdering a lot of infantry because I'm not seeing a lot of AT. Oh, they have an AT gun here. It's just Centaur's like, hey, if we move up, I do think they should have moved around it more so, but whatever. He's trying to kill the Grenadier squad. Now he's going to go around the AT gun again. That's fine. The problem is this Grenadier squad, which okay, he at least sees it. If it Panzerfausts this and kind of pins it, which it looks like it's doing, Pack Gun could turn around and easily wreck it. If I was him, I would hold fire, so that way, again, the Pack Gun doesn't fire. Damn it. Again, because if you don't hold fire, it can't be seen, then maybe, but with that blob coming in, yeah, it's just, it's just too much. And unfortunately, that Centaur did die. It did get a lot of kills, though. I'll give it credit. It gave Sabas definitely a big headache. But now, I'm not seeing a lot of, again, there's not going to be a lot of armor coming up anytime soon. So, well, let me rephrase that. There isn't going to be a ton of armor that can to overwhelm the Axis with. If they can at least keep picking off the Allies' armored one by one as it comes in, whether through Ming and then Murdoch and etc., they could definitely... Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Hawker's like, yeah, we're just bringing down the building. And now suppressing the infantry as well. Oh, my God. They just keep coming in. I wasn't kidding, by the way. So, yeah, that's dead. That's really, really dead. But again, it's just hitting troops in the Allied territory, just holding back the enemy. So, yeah, really, really freaking good. Especially on this map where it's like, yeah, we're going to call that in, and you can see the entire map is under our control. So we can literally call it in next to the enemy base and just have them come in. Oh, boy, that would be devastating. But anyway, so, yeah, the Allies just putting a lot of pressure on the Germans. Oh, we have a Comet tank? Holy crap, that's a British frontline tank just harassing the German infantry. They can't really do much. They can Panzerfaust it, but it's not going to do all that much because of the heavier armor. It's going to take a lot of Panzerfaust or AT grenades in general to just kind of cripple it, unless it does a little bit of damage for something else, like the Pack Gun weakening its armor so that way they can get a nice shot in to damage its engine. Anyway, Grenadiers moving on in. British infantry section trying to also hold them back. MG moving on up to hold back the infantry. We do have a mortar that could cause some issue. Oh my god. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that is a possessed mortar. It's moving by itself. There's no one else there, and now there's a man that's like there. Oh my god. Oh. What? Oh, okay, there's some more. Okay. Whew. I was scared for a second. It was like, it looked like a possession. It looked like something from The Exorcist, to be quite frank. Oh boy. MG. Well, but two MGs placed, but nice maneuver by the Panzer Grenadiers trying to get around them. Instantly realizing this, the MG's like, yeah, we're pulling back. We can't hold this. This is a bad idea. So we're gonna pull back. Arctic coming around with a flanking maneuver. Again, same thing, trying to get around this MG. Not a bad idea. Also, recapturing a lot of territory. The Axis is doing a great job going around, capturing a ton of resources and territory, kind of helping them out. Unfortunately, once again, I'm just not seeing any armor at all. Just on either side. So they're just going to have to rely on the infantry. They are putting down caches to kind of help counteract the overwhelming allied resource gap that they are currently facing. But if they capture all the territory plus that, they could seriously jump up very quickly. So good for them. Good for the Germans. Kind of getting themselves back on track. I love these Panzer Grenadiers just hiding behind the building, like, you can't see us. Oh, and then the British come around and they just mow them down. Look around the building. The British infantry are like, we know you're there. It's like, no, you don't. We're not here. But if you can come out single file again, that'll be great. We do have some British mines that they place, so that could stop a German assault from pushing up too much. There's also a problem with the Germans overextend. Like, they capture so much territory, but their units are so thin, the British could easily counterattack with a large amount of forces. So, we could see... Oh, no. Well, the mine just killed the unit, so nice mine placement. Centaur moving on up to try to counteract the infantry, but once again, the pack gun's still there, and Panzerfaust once again. So that Centaur could die the same way the last one died, which would be terrible, but very possible. Very possible. Oh, so close. They're moving up the pack gun, trying to kill it. Centaur trying to hold back that infantry. Pack gun missing the shot. MG stopping them as well. Pack gun will most likely see another day. Very good on that end. Comet tank, though, back on track. If I was him, trying to think of what I would do. To be clear about, like, I'm seeing a lot more infantry. And again, I'm not seeing a ton of emplacements. Like, so, like, raw artillery is good for, like, using overwhelming artillery just to push the enemy back. I could see that with the infantry being very effective. But that being said, it also requires a lot of munitions to really use this to, like, full extent. Sextons are fine, but, like, the Valentine tank is really good for just overwatching. And then you use early warning to kind of deploy recon and the concentration barrage for artillery along with the other one. So those require a ton. I'm not seeing that a lot right now for the Allies to really afford that. So what I could see that could be very effective is you get the AVRE to fight the infantry. And that, again, that would be essentially a vehicle spot. But then what you can do is you use the more limited munitions to keep the armor alive via vehicle crews. And that way you could easily, like, heal your armor, get them back up on the front, etc. I could see that being effective. Well, again, either way, if it's used effectively, could be very potent for whatever he picks. Nice job. It looks like he deployed the artillery. Again, we can see that he went Comet, so we don't have to worry about airburst shells. But we do have to worry about base artillery, and it looks like that's going to push back the MG, so good job. British slowly regaining territory, but Arctic coming in with the flank from behind. Looks like a mine did stop him, however. They're trying to put a mortar in placement, but throwing a grenade. Maybe just focus on the Royal Engineers, trying to kill them before they make it, because you could easily kill them very quickly. Holy mackerel, will even be placed. It's so close. Oh, nope. Dies before it can even be made. It was so close being made. Anyway, it looks like Allies are retaking the right-hand side. And there is a battle going on in mid. MG's just, wow, laying down the fire, stopping the infantry from advancing. British infantry moving on up. With also the hammer instead of the anvil, we also have gammon bombs. So that could be very effective at just blowing up enemy forces. So very cool. Panzer Slayers coming around the flank, knocking out the MG. Very nice job. MG is very potent at keeping back infantry, only if the MG is facing the enemy. If the MG is flanked, it is extremely vulnerable and easily killed. So you have to watch out for that. Again, this MG, if these Panzer Slayers can manage to break the British, could easily break them. And now allow the Germans push on in and capture the midpoint, which is something they really probably don't want. Armored car trying to stop them. This MG is now 3 stars as well, which makes it very, very good at pushing back the enemy. Nice job pulling them back, so at least you're stopping that. I will say, Murdoch, don't be wrong. The AT tank hunter. Okay, so they have tank hunter infantry section. They are very good at fighting armor. The problem is you're not fighting armor. You're fighting a lot more infantry than armor. I don't think, except for the Lukes, you really fought any German armor yet. The Germans only deployed the Lukes, and I was quickly killed by the armored car. So, yeah, that's That's kind of curious. I'm actually, scratch that. Sabas could have deployed an armored vehicle by now. And we can see here, Arctic also could have deployed something like a Puma, or actually pretty much just a Puma. Alright, no, yeah. I mean, he could have saved up for the Yag Tiger, but looks like he's not choosing that. But Arctic deployed all three buildings, and Sabas has also, I'm assuming, saved up. Like, you're not deploying any armor. I think a Brumbar or heck, a Panther would be effective just to counteract a lot of the, like, the Centaurs and stuff like that, the armored cars. We have strafing support being called in, so, oh boy, and strafing support. Goddamn, hold the line being moved in. That's it, strafing support. That's what it's called, right? The thing I was referencing earlier. At least I think that's what it's called. Okay, so we're artillery, so again, you could use artillery to kind of counteract the Germans, but I feel like the Germans are a little bit more mobile, so hitting them with artillery might be a little more difficult, but we'll see what happens. British opening fire. Unfortunately, they're fighting 3-star Panzer Grenadiers, along with Panzer Fusiliers on the left-hand side, and Serb Pioneers. Goddamn. Again, I'm even though I've done tons of these replays, I know I'm not a pro caster. I know I'm not, well, okay, maybe, I would say I'm a caster, maybe mid-level caster, maybe eventually be a high-level caster. One day I'll do that. But, again, I don't know the specific 100% like nitty-gritty details that I know a lot of other people do, but I can still point out some, I still point some, out, I think, major key points. Like, there's no goddamn way the Germans are going to push on through with all this infantry right here. Yeah, they have the MGs, and sure, they can do a decent amount of damage. Oh, they actually killed, oh my god, they killed the 3-1. That was a really good bundle grenade. I honestly thought they would have killed that thing before I managed to throw that grenade, but nope. Not only managed to throw it, but managed to escape. Or maybe not. Maybe it didn't escape. No, it did not escape. Okay. I thought he would retreat it to keep it alive, but no, he sacrificed it to kill the MG. Which, yeah, you killed the vet one, but they could always reman it and get that MG back, so it's not exactly a long-lasting victory. Maybe just killing veterancy? Sure, but you wasted a lot of manpower. Okay, so Boss is picked mechanized, so we can see a Tiger tank being deployed. The problem with that is the Allies have both a Firefly and they also have a Comet tank, so both those combined along with Sexton hitting where the tank could heal at the mechanized could definitely crush the dreams of that Tiger very quickly. So let's see how well this Tiger play is. Sabas, again, we'll see what you have to do. Grenadiers pushing on up again, once again taking a lot of territory. Again, we also have Panzer Fusiliers on the left. So right now the Allies are deficient on fuel and munitions, where the Axis are doing a lot better. And we can also see now the army size is actually pretty comparable. It's actually quite even overall. Germans are slightly down, but that's by a very small margin. So once again, the Allies need to not only push the Germans back, but also recap their territory if they want to kind of keep things going. Germans, what they need to do is start whittling down the Allies slowly but surely. They do have at least a decent amount of resources, so they're not using everything they have. Like, Arctic has a lot of fuel and manpower they could use. I'm assuming he's saving up for a king, if I had to make a guess. He hasn't picked a Panther yet, so that's out. He picked all 3 buildings, which is another clue. And he could have saved up for the Yag Tiger earlier by more fuel and such like that, but he hasn't. So, once again, that just makes me think he is going for a King Tiger to deal with a lot more infantry and armor, respectively. Panzer Fusiliers moving on in, trying to counteract the British infantry. He is doing... Wow, okay. So he does have Hold the Line in effect, which is weird because I don't think it is in effect. Is that just a glitch, or... No, it's not. Hold the Line is in effect, but it's not there. Okay. MG suppressing the Panzer Fusiliers. We have the Tiger tank moving on in. AT gun, though, opening fire. We have artillery coming down. And that's a concentration barrage, so that will have airburst shells. Or it should. Will it not have airburst shells? Am I... Wait a sec. I swear to... Is it because he picked the comet? That if you don't pick it, automatically... Because I've seen it happen both ways. Where there should be air... I guess it isn't. I guess because he picked... I guess if you don't pick anything or you pick anvil, you will get airburst shells. But if you pick hammer, you won't? Huh. Okay. Or is this... No, he deployed the red smoke. Wait, I'm so confused. Is the base artillery... Yeah, the base artillery at least was... Or at one point was firing. Okay. So... Maybe I should just label this Greyshot doesn't know anything. That'll probably explain things. What I do know is the crocodile will burn your infantry to death very quickly, so you need to get the hell... hit your own men with the concentration barrage. I mean, oh my god. The concentration fire operation... Oh my god. I mean, you're getting some nice shots on the infantry. You're killing your Churchill with your own ability. Get it out of there before it dies, please. He's probably so... He's like so curious, like, oh my god, they're killing my Churchill with what? No, that's your own ability. Holy mackerel. Anyway, some artillery over here could be very effective to kind of counteract the Tiger. They could deploy some flares or maybe use the Valentine tank if they could deploy it to do some reconning to kind of identify where the Tiger is. We do have flares going out, so let's see what the Allies can see with this. Okay, so they can't see the Tiger. So if I was the Sexton, I would absolutely open fire where that Tiger is right now and start hammering it. Because not only could he kill the engine or the Pioneers, but he could also hurt the Tiger a lot more. There's sea airburst shells. I'm not crazy. I'm not great. All right, label it right here. Greyshot's not crazy. There we go. It does come with airburst shells, even though he did go Comet. And Murdoch, would you go? Yeah, he went Comet too. So, yeah, that clears it up. If you use this ability, Concentration Barrage, you will get airburst shells. He was just probably using the Sexton to open fire on that position, which is why it was confusing, and the red smoke was for something else. Maybe the hold the line or something. I don't know. Something. Anyway, where's that Firefly, by the way? Okay, it's held back. One thing is, though, is you really need Royal Engineers or more of them to heal up your armor. Because right now, that's the thing that's killing you. The Germans have at least a building, so they can at least heal it pretty quickly, along with the Pioneers. So that the Tiger has rapid repair, which allows them to deploy. And now we have a Tiger tank, too. Or King Tiger, which can come around the flank and cause some havoc. I don't see any British mines, so that could be an issue, but yeah. Very good on their part. They do have that. Tiger tank opening fire on the Comet. Comet can at least take a few hits while bouncing a lot of shells off that front armor. Very nice, Comet. Very nice indeed. So Comet can go toe-to-toe with the Tiger. I can't necessarily win, as the Tiger tank, I do believe, has more armor and firepower than the Comet. But that being said, it can at least go toe-to-toe with it. And if you need to give it a little edge, maybe add an AT gun or add in a Firefly. Well, definitely a Firefly. But you add in just a little more, and you can do something. But wow, they're just bouncing off each other. That's hilarious. Go, Comet, go! Oh, God, that's terrifying. I love the shot with the Royal Engineers just hiding behind the building. AT gun, though, hitting the King Tiger from behind as the Tiger shows its rear. Another AT gun hitting it. Wow! That Tiger just being shot all over, all the weak points. And now it looks like we have red smoke going down. I'm assuming concentration. Yep. So, yeah, we have airburst shells hitting it, along with some base artillery. Oh, wow, we have a Bofor back here as well, keeping the infantry back. King Tiger falling back. They need to kill that. Maybe send a Comet tank from the rear to try to murder it from behind could be effective. Again, they need to heal it first, but you can equip that with war speed, so you can move it back, try to hit it, and if worst case scenario, if you think things are too dicey, activate war speed and just blitz right out of there. It's weird, but the Germans aren't the only one that can blitz. The British can also use a blitzkrieg-like ability with war speed, so we'll see how effectively that could be. Wow, is he really now getting repair pioneers? I thought that was operational the whole time. Wow, okay, that's a A little bit late, but hell, at least you're getting it now. Also, he has this Panzer headquarters, because remember, you can't deploy a Panzer headquarters on the capture point in their respective territory. Relic made sure you can't, but since this tiny piece of land is technically connected to the other points, you can put a Panzer Fusiliers there so he can guard this point. So the Germans are slowly but surely whittling down the Allies via capture points, but it's still anyone's game with both armies having a large amount of forces in their respective pockets. So either side can gain victory through this. We have artillery barrage coming in over here, most likely to counteract the MG. AT gun, though, opening fire on the Tiger, pushing it back. Other AT gun also on standby. Maybe they can move up the Centaur a bit and they kind of move up the MG a little bit as well to kind of cover the point a little bit more because, you know, stop them from capturing it. Maybe they can also send the infantry over here. They don't have a lot of munitions, so maybe put down another munitions cache in the back left-hand corner, back here. That could be at least helpful. They are low on manpower, so if they worried about not being able to guard it, okay, I could see that. Once again, we have Arctic coming in on the flank. Very nice job. Arctic could also move up and do Panzer Fusiliers AT ability over here. Attack the AT gun. They did knock out the Vickers. Maybe they could steal it, but again, with nope, they have 2 3-man squads, or 2, 3, and 4, so that could be very risky with the armored car firing on it. Tiger tank on standby. We have Panzer Fusiliers moving on in. We have a light artillery barrage coming at this position, which they were just retreating everything, which is not a bad idea. Light artillery barrage will kill infantry pretty quickly. But that should allow the Axis to kind of move on up and hopefully lock this area down. Axis, respectively, have a lot more in terms of munitions stored up, so they could actually save up for maybe assault artillery, deploy it right here, and they could wreck a lot of Ming's units while they're grouped up. But Ming, again, has a ton of units, so don't expect, like, especially if he heals all these units, he'll be near pop cap, if not at pop cap, so good for him. Comet tank opening fire. They're trying to kill the Bofor. Bofor do a little bit against King Tiger. Comet, though, 2 Svet 2, going around. With the increase in accuracy, that should allow it to go around. Unfortunately, the King's having a hard time keeping up with the Comet. Comet going straight in. Firefly missing, actually disabling the Comet's own... Oh, boy. Yes, disabling his own unit. Comet tank trying to get out of there, activating war speed. Managing to get out of there just in time. Assault artillery now coming in. Bofor needs to in place. Firefly needs to pull back. And I see that more Royal Engineers. They need to heal that armor. Right now, the Germans are just... it's healing. That's what they're doing. They're able to heal, and they're more in the fight. They're able to keep on dishing out hits, where the British, they're doing damage, but the fact is they have to pull back, heal, deploy, pull back, heal, deploy. It takes a lot longer. So the reinforcing just, yeah, they're just down. And right now, the Axis are now trying to target those caches, which is huge, because again, that's more munitions the Allies can't get. Which stops them getting abilities like hold the line. A lot of these abilities are very costly, so yeah, in this scenario, it's just not helping. Crocodile, though, realizing, hey, there's all this infantry over here, let me just burn them down. And doing a good job. About to give at 1 if it can get one more kill or hit. Oh, wow. Look at that. So close to that 1. Come on, Crocodile. One more hit. Aw, dang it. Out of range. Tiger tank hitting the AT gun, trying to knock it out. Unfortunately, British just need to heal. Okay, so, they're healing on left. And it looks like they are getting more Royal Engineer squads. You know what you could do? This armored car has been here this entire game, so good job on Murdoch for keeping it alive. Again, actually, a lot of units are highly vetted. So you have the Grenadiers that are pretty high vetted from Sabas. Arctic has a couple Panzer... Wow, a lot of Panzer Fusilier squads. That could be an issue. Those are very costly, so if you keep having to remand those, it could take some time. Also, he's getting a Panther, so that will at least help his combat efficiency, at least pushing on the front. And maybe help his Tiger out from maybe not taking so much damage. Be able to dish out more so it doesn't have to take more. We have flares going out. We also have a Valentine tank, which is actually pretty good, because then you can deploy that to do some recon for you. Because it'll have, essentially, you put it like back here or maybe behind this building. You will essentially have perpetual recon going out so you can see everything, anticipate attacks and whatnot. On the far right, oh my god, I love it. Churchill's like, wait, there's nothing over here. Why don't we just kill this building? Unfortunately, though, a lot of Panzer Fusiliers are moving. Oh, nice shot on that British with the British infantry section on that Volk squad, knocking it out. Unfortunately, though, there's no support coming in as a King Tiger and a Panther come in to kill it. We also have a concentration barrage coming in on attack that point. It should be enough to kill it. I'm gonna say. We have the Crocodile realizing the armor's coming, pulling back. Oh, it's so close. One more double barrage from the artillery should kill it. Is that it? Is it? That's all the artillery. Oh, it's barely alive. Okay, very lucky. Armored car trying to kill the Panzer Fusiliers. Crocodile coming on the flank. Firefly needs to target more on the armor than the infantry. Also, I think a missile barrage would be great because you could hit 2 vehicles. Fire the missiles! Nope, we're not going to fire the missile. Okay. Oh my god, barely missing. Fire the goddamn missiles. Have the armored car, like, hit them also from behind. Like, knock out their treads. Come on. Okay, actually, this is really smart. Keep the Firefly back so it just keeps hitting the armor. Have the Crocodile armored car maybe hit him from behind. Nice job, though, with Arctic knocking out the cache, or at least doing something in the meantime. This thing needs to heal. Like, also, that I don't know what the Crocodile is going to do. Yes, you can hit from behind. It'll definitely do damage, but as you can see, the main gun doesn't do as much as you think. Oh, boy. Sabas looks like took some hits. And this guy is doing damage. Comet tank has been deflated, along with Valentine tank. Has garnered a few hits. Churchill trying to get out of there. Armored car. Oh, another Firefly being deployed. Dude, use your missiles. Yeah, you sacrificed that thing. You should have used your missiles. Maybe he was saving up to do hold the line, but I don't know. Yeah, you could see a lot of, like, Typhoon strikes and whatnot, but I think the missiles would have kept your units together. You could keep popping them. AT gun now finally moving over. It's about time, but losing a Crocodile and a Firefly, that's very costly. And right now, the Allies don't need to lose that many forces if they can save it. There we go. See, that armored car uses an ability called Target Treads, and guess what? That vehicle is now, again, its engine's gone. Oh my god, that is hugely crippling. If they could send a Royal Engineer squad to take this Panther for the British, holy mackerel, that could do it. But people forget the armored car has this amazing ability to target tread, which again immobilizes the target. So essentially, you could cripple a large, big tank, and if they could quickly heal that thing, so they could do another target tread like King Tiger, they could kill the King very easily. Firefly moving in. Can we see the missile strike, please? King Tiger being blocked by the tree. AT gun opening fire as well. Missile strike, point blank. Oh my god! If you would have missed both. Okay, hits one, and they should kill the Tiger unless it bounces out the front. Nope, kills it. And Arctic loses both his King Tiger and his Panther, and he doesn't have the resources to get a King Tiger unless for another 2 minutes, or a Panther he could get, but again, that would then mean he's not as good against infantry. So his Panzer Fusiliers would have to be doing double the work, which again, he could do. He could do, but we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, that entire time, Sabas has been holding the mid and been like, I will hold this point so we can win via victory points. Because again, this other position, which is still somehow alive, is holding on for dear life. Unfortunately, Murdoch just doesn't have a lot of defense positions, so having a lot of trouble. If he can get this Panther online, that would seriously be, oh my god, that would be amazing. Comet tank going in very deep to try and knock out that Tiger. Oh my god, he threw a grenade on it? Yeah, the grenade landed on it, didn't do anything, but it was still funny. Comet tank, Vet 3, did die. AT gun moving on up. We have artillery coming in. And I'm gonna guess... Wait, hold on. No, it's the British artillery. Yep, trying to push back the infantry section. Arctic taking a lot of... Oh boy, I'm just looking at overall. But pretty much all sides have taken a lot of casualties. So this is a very close game. Closer than I would have expected. Holy mackerel. The only thing that the one thing that, again, can tip the scale right now is victory points. The Axis need to hold on to those victory points. Because if they can, they could easily outdo and beat the Allies. But that being said, it's not too much pressure. Because, again, they still have 381. So the Axis, even if they lost all 3 to the Allies, have plenty of time to rebuild their army and whatnot. Oh, my God. The Panthers trying to escape. How sad are the Germans where it's like, we have to kill this Panther? It's slowly trying to get out of there. If it can get within MG range, they can stop them. I'm assuming you have to fire all the AT rifles at it, but he just doesn't. He doesn't have the munitions. He doesn't have the munitions. Oh my God. Where's that Centaur? Where's that random... Hey, instead of sending the Centaur over here, you may want to have sent it over here to help keep these units alive. Oh my God. Okay, well there goes the Panther. Alright, looks like Arctic's getting another King Tiger, if I had to assume. Just by the amount of manpower and fuel that he has. He could get the Yag, but I don't see it. Yep, there we go. He wants something to fight the infantry as well. Double, especially because, again, the Allies do have a lot of ATs. So, the Yag Tiger, yes, you could say, well, Greyshot, it could pull back the Allied armor. It could, but then you also have to worry about all the AT guns, and that would slowly push up with infantry to push back a Yag. And that would be a big threat for it. But anyway, the Allies managing to hold mid. I still think they should send one random unit, like, over to capture these the points on the right. Arctic is doing a great job with his blob to take left. I'll give him credit on that. But right now, again, just look at the pop. 83, 88, 51, 58. It's really, really close. So, Allies throwing everything they have to guard mid. It may not be the best strategy. Again, they're kind of leaving their flank open. Again, a big push by this blob right here could be very detrimental. They don't have anything blocking an attack from this angle. Meanwhile, the King and Tiger, both identified by the Valentine tank, are being hit by the AT guns. AT guns opening fire, pushing back that armor. Again, 2 AT guns, just pushing them back. Artillery as well coming down to stop the German armor. Panzerfusiliers coming on the right. We also have another push on the left. Great job on Arctic coming in on both angles, knocking out the support stuff. Great. I think he mentioned this was a pincer movement. Again, have the heavy tanks tank the brunt of the damage and focus all the guns straight down. Then moving your infantry on the flanks, easily taking them out. This is a beautiful move by Arctic. What is Sabas doing? Sabas not really having all that much to do with this. All right, maybe he's moving up his grenadiers to help reinforce, but very nice job just taking them out, knocking out a ton of their equipment and frontline forces. And taking the star as well, putting a lot of pressure on the Allies to then launch an armored assault straight up the gut, which the German armor is more equipped to take. Grenadiers moving in, could fire Panzerfaust to stop them. Comet tank, though, coming in, could knock out the Tiger. Very well could. Nope. Tiger tank coming in to help save the day. Crocodile, though, burning away all the German infantry. We also have a rocket attack. Finally, long-range shot takes out the Tiger. Very nicely done. The King Tiger. Tiger tank, though, moving up to reinforce. We have Panzerfusiliers holding on to the point. Most likely, we're going to see this for at least a little bit more time because, again, they're going to try to rush all the infantry to keep that point so that we can win via victory points. The MG trying to be placed, but unfortunately, it's just being torn apart and easily taken out by the Panzerfusiliers. Again, very good at killing lighter stuff like that. We have, was that Panzerwerfer? I think that was the Panzerwerfer. Yes, it was on the Centaur. Centaur trying to hold back the Tiger. Unfortunately, its main gun doesn't do all that much. That being said, Ming doesn't have really anything to fight that Tiger. Murdoch, the best thing he has is a Firefly, but he had to pull that thing back because it took quite a few hits. Crocodile, though, I can see why they're doing it. It has a lot of armor. They're just trying to have it to burn away a lot of the infantry so that way they can try to take the point. But it's going to be close. It's going to be damn close. 5 points remaining. 4. We have a Panzerschreck equipped Royal Engineer squad trying to hold back that Tiger. Nice shot by that Churchill. Manages to actually hurt it. Panzerschreck doing actually quite a bit of damage. But that being said, the Blob is back in town. As Arctic moves up his forces to try to hold on to this point. Artillery just... Holy crap. All the artillery, everything's coming down. Beautifully done. Now, again, that's forcing this Churchill back up, and it really shouldn't be back up, but oh boy, that blob is being burned to death. Just a lot of oh, nice artillery shot pushing back the blob. Again, maybe spread out your units a little bit more, but that being said, how many kills does this thing have? 12. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. They need to heal this stuff, like, now. They did a really good job. Also, send one unit with the crocodile on the right, and you could decap this point. You could seriously decap this point. That being said, looks like Arctic has run out of manpower. So, yeah, all these Panzerfull Slayers are great, but they're very exhausting in terms of, you know, remanning them. So, again, that is a small detractor for them, especially having so many of them. But at least he can slowly just send them out to try to capture that point and just waste allied, or just, you know, kind of keep their attention there. Tire tank moving on up. Ming has, he's getting a comet to kind of reinforce, but he's running out of infantry to send up. I don't think Murdoch can hold on to this point for much longer. If they can knock out that pack gun or call an artillery, that would be effective. They have the Sexton open fire. Yeah, this crocodile needs to pull back. I think right now they just need a lot of artillery right here, but they don't have the munitions. They don't have the resources. They don't have really anything left. The Centaur could move up, but then the Tiger tank, unless they move the Firefly over here. But yeah, with all those units, their best bet was actually to send a detachment on right to take this point, but they didn't do that. And I think that's the biggest move. Like, even the Royal Engineer that had the Panzerschreck probably could have killed this thing and taken the point. So, again, that's just heat in the moment stuff, but I think even though I'm using hindsight and more clarity because I can see the map, that probably would have helped them to try to just test out and see about that right side. Also, they're not getting anything over here, so them kind of like retaking this area probably would help them gain more resources. Also, it would have taken away the German armor, or like the fuel income for German armor, so there's that. In any case, let's go over this game. Ming got most damage and most kills. I absolutely see that. Murdoch kept being flanked hard. And Ming did a lot of damage with his Comet. His Centaur also did really well. Sexton did pretty well. Like, let me double check his best unit. No, it was the AT gun with 14.5. Pretty good. Murdoch, what was your best unit? Firefly, okay. But again, not even close. It's like the AT guns did double the AT. So yeah, very nice. We have Panzerfull Slayers for Arctic. I wonder why. 78 kills. But that being said, you did deploy how many? Yeah, 10 of those squads. And, yeah, Arctic didn't get most kills or damage. He did get most losses. Sabas got most damage and kills, so good job on Sabas. And his best unit was the Tiger? No, Pack Gun. Also 70,000. So that's just showing the best units in this game were the AT guns. So everyone's like, oh, you have to get armor. It's like, no, AT guns. Like, seriously. When used correctly, they do they do a ton of damage, unless you're doing something else. But yeah, most damage, most kills. I could see that, again, with the Grenadier squads as well, because, again, a lot of Vet 3 stuff over here. Same thing with Arctic, too. A lot of highly vetted Panzerfull Slayers. They get all the way up to Vet 5, 4. What was that, 3? Yeah, again, very highly rated across the board, so nice job with those. But overall, really good game. Thank you for submitting that, Arctic. In any case, make sure you submit your replays. And I also, again, thank you to pretty much everyone who watches this. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you to everyone who supports me. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. That seriously helps me out a ton. And thank you to everyone who is currently subscribed. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, and before you guys go, you can check out a previous video on the top left hand corner, a random video that may be recommended to you on the right hand side. Below is Patreon supporters that help support this very channel, including Ace, Sergeant McPain, Ollie, Joey, Nathan, Aaron, Leo, and Tim. Thank you all for your amazing support. You all rock. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.